Hello. Once you have finished exercise 1, you need to make sure you have labeled your folders and your files correctly. Once you have, then upload your root level folder to the MAT server. Okay, so your root level folder should be labeled exercise-01. The nested image folder inside must be labeled images. Any images in the folder should have clear, simple names which describe the image, and make sure the image names do not contain any empty spaces. Okay, so no spaces in names. The HTML file must be labeled index.html exactly. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at an example here. So I just happen to have a folder which I keep exercises in, and I have this one right now with a different name. So let's fix this. So we should have exercise-1. Inside, we have a folder labeled images. You'll notice I'm using all lowercase. And then we also have our index.html. And then let's just make sure in our images folder, I have a JPEG image with a simple name and there are no spaces. Okay, so now we need to upload our exercise 1 folder to our student folder on the MAT server. And there is a video on how to use CyberDuck to do exactly this. All right, but let's go ahead and I'm just going to open CyberDuck. I'm already logged in. Okay, I've already connected. You're just going to make sure you're using secure FTP. You have our server name, mat.miracosta.edu, and then the username and password. They are your SURF credentials. Okay, and remember your name starts with the W, I believe, and then you have your password. All right, so I'm going to cancel because I'm already connected. And I'm going to find our MAT 125 prior folder. This is our class folder. Then we'll go inside the student work folder, and you will find the folder with your name. That's your folder to store work for the class. And at times, this is where you'll place files when you turn them in. Okay. Some projects have you turn in files here. Some will be turned in through the assignments as a web URL. Okay. This one, exercise 1, you're turning in an entire folder. So you're going to find your student folder, and then here is the folder that I'm working with. So I need to scroll back here so I can see it. All right, so here is my exercise 1 folder. So I'm going to just take this entire folder, drag this right into my folder. I'll go ahead and click allow. And you'll see this in the video. I tend not to keep my credentials in a keychain, so every time I write files, I have to add my password. So let's add my password. And then log in. And you'll see that your files will write to the server. Depending on how big your files, this might take a moment. All right, so here's exercise 1. There's my images folder. I'm just going to verify my images inside. And I have a folder in here with some original files. It's really best to only upload the files which are specifically being used in an exercise or a project. I just happen to have some other ones here. All right, and here is my index. All right, now let's test and see if I can find these. So this is interesting. Here's my URL here. Okay, I'm going to cancel that. I was thinking I could just copy this. I'm going to copy the link. And let's open a web browser. I'll open a new tab. And I'm going to paste this link in, but I don't want the SFTP part. So I'm going to delete this. Okay, so we should have matt.miracosta.edu. I don't believe I need the web part here. So we're going to matt.miracosta.edu, then Matt 125 prior, then we're going to open the student work, then you'll open your folder, then we're going to exercise 1, add the / index.html. So this is our absolute path to our file on the server. I'm going to copy this just in case I made a mistake. Sometimes I make mistakes on copying these or creating these paths. All right, so let's go ahead and see if, and we did. Hey, I got it right the first time. That doesn't always happen. All right, so you will be able to preview your exercise so you know that, in fact, the file will show up, the index page will show up, and that your images are linked correctly. Because if they're not, you're going to see a broken link, and then you're going to have to go back and debug why your image might not be showing up. But it looks like everything works here. So we've had success writing our files to the class server.